There's a stillness you only find at altitude. When a road unfurls beneath you at 3,000 metres and the horizon is a sawtooth skyline of the Karakoram, Hindu Kush and the Himalaya. On a motorcycle, the mountains aren't backdrop. They are weather in your face, a border in the change of licence plates, a river heard long before it's seen. Riding here is equal parts geometry, grit and hospitality. Endless switchbacks, valleys stitched with apricot orchards, glaciers appearing overnight, and the invariable red tea poured in roadside guest houses. That's the essence of Pakistan's high north, and the terrain M8 Moto makes accessible for foreign riders. They specialise in guided adventures across Gilgit-Baltistan and beyond, where maps blur into glaciers and permits matter as much as petrol. The logistics are complex: visa, local permissions, unpredictable flights, and a highway that clings to cliffs. M8 Moto manages it, smoothing out what could be otherwise a bureaucratic maze. Most riders begin in Islamabad, either catching the mountain flight to Skardu or taking the overland overture, Islamabad to Besham, through dusty Chilis and finally to Skardu. The journey itself sets the tone. Tarmac one moment, landslides the next. Villages that appear like stage sets before dissolving into wheat fields. From Skardu, a rider's options multiply. The Shigar Valley offers orchard-lined approaches to the Karakoram, its villages alive with hot butter tea and apricot harvest. Offshoot hamlets like Shigatang, perched nearly 4,000 metres, show how people have thrived at impossible altitudes for centuries. Here, rest is insisted upon before the next climb, and conversation by the stove is part of the road. The Karakoram Highway is the region's spine, called the eighth wonder of the world for its audacity of its engineering. Following ancient silk routes, it threads between cliff faces and broad valleys. Its high point, the Kunjurab Pass, where Pakistan meets China. Riding it is riding history. Soviet caravans, Chinese development projects and local farmers all share this precious ribbon of asphalt. Towns like Gilgit and Chilis act as rough nodes. Dusty, practical, not photogenic, but essential for fuel, food and repairs. Beyond Skardu, the landscapes unfold like chapters. Fairy Meadows, with its alpine meadow views of Nanga Parbat, is the postcard vision, breathtaking, dangerous, and often a motorbike rest day in favour of hiking boots. Hunza Valley, often described as the alpine paradise, delivers the full set. Turquoise Adabad Lake, Baltit and Altit forts, glacial walks in Hobbar, and terraces of walnut and apricot stunning whole communities. Chapasan Valley, meanwhile, stretches towards the Wakhan corridor of Afghanistan, offering glimpses of Pamir peaks and Waki culture. Shimshal, the so-called Valley of Glaciers, touches roots towards China and the Pamirs. Remote, breathtaking, but demanding both permits and patience. Practical reality bites here. The mountains are alive. Glaciers shift, rivers rise, and monsoon-fed floods can wipe away roads overnight. July 2025 saw flash floods that stranded travellers and displaced entire villages. In this landscape, itineraries must be fluid. Contingency day is essential. Local guides know which passes are open and which bolts are best for a mechanic's wisdom. That's where M8 Moto's format shines. Their expeditions use sturdy, locally serviceable bikes, Suzuki GS150s and Yamaha TTR250s, and keeps groups small, rarely more than a dozen riders. Support vehicles carry spares and luggage, mechanics ride along, and days are dictated not by the clock but by the mountain's moods. Nights might be spent in guest houses warmed by dal and rice, or in Hunza where meals are feasts and internet's returns. Luxury is absent, but comfort comes in camaraderie and routine. Seasons define possibility. May through September is the riding window, with shoulder months offering solitude but also snow risks. Even midsummer has microclimates: sun in Skardu, storms in Hunza, snow on the Kunjurab. Riders are advised to travel light, carry puncture kits, paper maps and respect that in much of the north, connectivity is fleeting. Chains suffer from dust and glacial grit. Tubeless tyres are a luxury. Mechanics, however, are wizards with limited tools. Yet the real wealth of this region is its people. Balti elders in Skardu, shopkeepers in Hunza, Waki hosts in Chapasan, Hospitality isn't a product, but a way of life. Expect invitations of chai, questions about family, and children sprinting out with smiles. Simple courtesies, a polite salam, modest dress, asking before photographing, opening doors. Carry small gifts, even sweets or sunscreen, is enough to win laughter and warmth. M8 Moto offer everything from week-long dashes along the Karakoram Highway to 24-day ultimate Pakistan adventure rides through Baltistan, Hunza, the Desai Plateau and the high border passes. They also rent bikes for those wanting independence, though even solo riders quickly learn the value of local knowledge. What sets M8 Moto apart is his understanding that Pakistan is not a backdrop but a living, breathing landscape. Their itineraries allow for side hikes, rest days and conversations that linger longer than photographs.